Hello guys, this is your friend and multiverse Shinobi 2.0. Subscribe, we are back with a new fanfic. Which is What If Naruto Got Harem with Pakura May and Kyuubi Part 1. And if you enjoy this fanfic, then please press the like button and subscribe to my channel for more fanfic like this. And now let's start the fanfic. Was a seemingly regular night in Konohagakure, ninjas patrolling, people drinking in bars and people having fun. In the forest, a 6-year-old boy can be seen running from a crowd. In the crowd were shinobi and civilians alike. Goddammit, not again, thought our blonde protagonist as he ran from a crowd. Why can't you guys see that I'm not Kyuubi? Yelled Naruto as he panted slightly, in hopes to ease the crowd. Quiet, one shinobi spoke, gritting his teeth. Why can't you see all the people you've killed 6 years ago in that attack? Naruto may he a lot of things, but stupid was not one of them. He wasn't an idiot, even a blind person can see it. People calling him a demon, the glares, the segregation, the time he spent reading the books he stole from the library on his idol Yondaime Hokage and all the other books. He simply put 2 and 2 together and got his answer. He had the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi no Kitsune. He didn't know what this entailed or if he could even communicate with it. Why him though? Why would his idol seal the Kyuubi inside him? He must have had a reason. The Yondaime wasn't the kind of man that would ask another family to sacrifice their child. So he came to a conclusion that he was the Yondaime's child, that he sealed the Kyuubi inside his own child. Crazy, right? Of course it was a far-fetched theory and sounded a bit crazy, but it made sense if his logic didn't fail him. Jinchuriki are usually somewhat connected to big village figures, like the Yondaime Hokage for example. But there were still holes in his theory. Why didn't anyone see the Kyuubi coming? Everything he's seen makes it seem as if it was summoned or something. Surely Konoha nins and scouts would have seen the gigantic 9-tailed beast, whose roars can level mountains, and tails can cause tsunamis coming, so that begs the question, where did the Kyuubi come from? Was his mother attacked during childbirth? Did the Kyuubi get extracted from her during this? He learnt that there were past Kyuubi Jinchuriki, and from what he's read, during childbirth female Jinchuriki's seals weaken, so he came to a conclusion. His mother was a Jinchuriki. He couldn't find any information on Kyuubi's Jinchuriki other than Mito Uzumaki, Hashirama Senju's wife. Anyways, all of this wouldn't matter if he's dead, so back to the problem at hand. He kept running until he reached the Hokage monument. Usually, this would be his safe haven. But right now it was all but that. He was cornered. Please just stop, I'm not the Kyuubi, pleaded Naruto. Stop, stop. Did you stop? When the cries of our shinobi were heard all throughout the night as you rampaged through our village. The 4th sacrificed himself to end you, and you still have the audacity to appear before us and mock us as a child. No worries though. Tonight we end what Yondaime started. Finished the shinobi as he started going through hand signs and shot a fireball at him. Naruto tried to dodge it, but his body was too weak and tried. It hurt. Everything hurt. He felt his body heat up, agonizing heat. As he fell off the monument, his mind started going blank. Is this it? Is this how I'm going to die? I never got to know my parents. I wish I tried out that new ramen flavor. I'm sorry, Nei-chan, and old man Tuki. I guess this is it, were his last thoughts as the floor below got closer until eventually all I saw was white. The white started to recede and was replaced with a yellow hue. He found myself in a hallway with tubes running down to a door. Is this heaven? Are those the infamous heaven's gates? Thought the young boy as he walked towards the door. When he walked in, he was met with a giant gate with a kanji for seal on it. He heard weeping, the sounds of a woman crying. Eerie, he thought as he neared the gate. As he neared, he noticed the form of a red-haired female. She had crimson eyes and a burgundy kimono. 9 reddish-orange tails were spread throughout the floor. Wait, what? Tails? Anyways, in all she was beautiful, ever prettier than that one girl he saved with those weird purple eyes. Hi, are you the angel that's here to pick me up? I thought heaven would be more white, he said. Her eyes snapped open as tears ran down her face. Naruto, thank God you're alive, she choked out. Wait, what? Alive? What do you mean? I thought I died, he said. No silly, you're not dead. I brute forced my way through this seal and I used my chakra to try and heal you to try and save you. But if I'm not dead then where am I? Last I remember I was falling to my certain death. You're in your mindscape. Mindscape? What's a mindscape? Are you the Kyuubi no Kitsune? Yes, I am. So my theory is right, the Yondaime sealed the Kyuubi in me making me your Jinchuriki. Who would have thought that the almighty Kyuubi no Kitsune was a pretty woman, he mused at himself. She smiled. She'd been watching him all throughout the years, unable to contact him, so she knew he was smarter than any typical 6-year-old. Throughout the years she kept on trying to contact him but to no avail. After his incident, he went through enough mental distress causing her to finally break through the seal. So if you're Kyuubi, why are you not a big bad mean scary demon fox? He asked slightly confused. She giggled as she said, I'm not all that evil as people believe, and this is just my human form. You see technically not even a demon fox, I'm a giant concentrated being made of chakra, so I can change my body as I like. But when Sama made us he gave us our form body I was given that of a fox, but we can change our forms to be that of a human if we wish. I prefer being in this form because in this situation it would have been easier to talk to you like this, plus I would be crammed in my fox form because as you can see your mindscape isn't necessarily what you would call the biggest. But if you want I can change into my fox form, she said. No you're perfectly fine like that, but if you really are the Kyuubi then can you possibly answer some questions I have? Yes, what is it? She already had a general idea of what he was going to ask. Was one of my parents your previous Jinchuriki? Yes, your mother, she was my second Jinchuriki right after Mito Uzumaki. Uzumaki? That's my surname. Another question, if you know who my mother is, do you know who my father was? He asked in a hopeful tone. Yes, your father is, as you theorized, Minato Namikaze, the Yondaime Hokage. He smiled. I was right, why did he seal you into me though? Did they love me? Yes, they were ecstatic when they found out they were going to be parents, they had everything planned out and your father was very protective of your mother, not wanting anything to happen to her and you, she said softly smiling a bit at the end. Now, Naruto was not one to cry but again he was a 6-year-old child. Sure he was smart, what people would consider a genius at his age, but he was a child nonetheless. He was an orphan, no parents, no friends, no family or close nor distant relatives, there wasn't a day that went by where people wouldn't glare at him or call him names or whisper about him. He was alone, for the most part. The only people he had to call family were Gigi and the Ichiraku family but to hear that his blood parents loved him proved to be too much and tears began to spill out of happiness. As he wiped his tears he said, if you say you're not evil then why did you attack Konoha? At this, she scowled as if she remembered an unpleasant memory. Everything was going well during your birth until he showed up. He? Who? Yeah, the masked man. Masked man. Yes, during the night of your birth a masked man attacked and extracted me out of your mother. After that he used those blasted eyes of the Uchiha and controlled me into attacking the village. Everything went blank after that, her face turned into a frown. After your father removed me from the masked man's control I was confused and didn't know what was going on, my mind wasn't in the right place, when I saw the sealing ritual on instinct I attacked you not wanting to he sealed again. Her voice slightly faltered and she took a deep breath. When I did your parents jumped in front of my attack to stop me, she paused and balled up her fists. I was the one who killed your parents, she finished as tears began to roll down. He looked at her, betrayal evident on his face, tears ran down his face, he was looking at his parents' killer. He closed his eyes, and took a deep breath. He was unable to finish. He wanted to hate her, he really did, but he just couldn't, this wasn't her fault. None of this was, he can't blame her, it would be hypocritical of him to fault her, just like he doesn't want people to ostracize him for being Kyuubi's holder, he couldn't hate her for being controlled. It was all that Uchiha's fault. His life being miserable was all his fault. Kyuubi-chan ransacking Konoha was all his fault. His parents' death, his fault. He hesitated, but he then walked into the cage and hugged a crying Kyuubi. They both needed this. Naruto had never felt anyone's hug. It was comforting. He felt her hug back. He felt himself break down. It was too many emotions for him to handle. He didn't know how to respond to them. The fact that there was someone who would even replicate a hug, it made him feel warm inside. I wonder if this is how it feels to have people that care about you. None of this is your fault. It's all the masked man's fault, he said to her, breaking the silence. She looked at him with wide eyes. Then he smiled. Don't worry, Kyuubi-sama. I promise I'll find this masked man, and make him pay, not just for killing my parents, but for controlling you against your will. I promise. I'm sure you will, Naruto-kun, she replied, smiling. They separated and she started speaking. Now to my next point. You being my Jinchuriki gives your massive reserves, advanced healing, and what is not known to much is, I also have the ability to awaken the Rinne Sharingan, considering you are of the Uzumaki clan and a direct descendant to Tsu-sama. Your father was a Namikaze who branched off from the Uchihas but were ostracized by them due to not being able to awaken the Sharingan and eventually went nearly extinct. Most didn't awaken their Sharingan, but you still have Uchiha blood in you, enough for me to work with. Even though it's a small portion of your blood, you still have part Uchiha, Senju, and Uzumaki blood in you. The Senju blood came from Hashirama Senju and Mito Uzumaki, who are your great-grandparents. You have blood from both of Tsu-sama's children, making you eligible for the Rinne Sharingan. Wait, the Rakudo Sennin was your father. He remembers reading about him in a book. Yes, I was originally part of a mindless beast of destruction and chaos, the Kyuubi. But Tsu-sama defeated it, then became its first Jinchuriki. Towards his death he knew the Kyuubi will eventually reform and rampage again, so he split it into 9-tailed beasts, in order to bring peace and keep a power balance. She finished. His eyes widened in realization. So essentially, while everyone saw you tailed beasts, as mindless demons of chaos, you're all in reality heroes in a sense. Without you guys, this world as we know it would not exist and the Kyuubi would run rampant. She smiled slightly at how smart this child was. It was shocking that a 6-year-old would be this smart and knowledgeable. Tsu-sama, this is the boy. I'm sure this is the boy that will bring upon peace to this world. Yes, while I wouldn't call myself a hero, it's not too far off. Now about the Rinne Sharingan, tell me, Naruto-kun, what do you know of the Sharingan? From what I've read, the Sharingan is the powerful dojutsu Kekkei Genkei of the Uchiha clan. It can predict movement and copy techniques. Very well. Now what do you know of the Rinnegan? Not much is known of it other than the Rakudo Sennin was the original wielder, and it is said that it's the strongest out of the 3 dojutsu. Very good. Now the Rinne Sharingan is a combination of the two, with the added abilities of the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, which is the next stage of the Mangekyo Sharingan. The abilities of the Mangekyo are powerful, but it comes with a severe drawback. It slowly leads to loss of sight. This issue is solved with the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. It stops your blindness. The Mangekyo Sharingan's abilities consist of the Susanoo, Tsukuyomi, Amaterasu, Kamui, Kotoamatsukami, and Izanagi. With the Susanoo you can create a humanoid avatar that works as a shield and is made out of your chakra and fights for you on your command. With the Tsukuyomi you can cast a powerful genjutsu, said to be the strongest and can only be dispelled by the Rinnegan. With Amaterasu you can create the strongest flames that burn through everything as long as you can focus on your target. With Kamui you can travel to the Kamui pocket dimension. You can move objects in and out of it at will, and it's said to be superior to the Yondaime's Hiroshin since you don't need seals. Kotoamatsukami is a subtle but powerful genjutsu that allow you to modify and change people's memories and replace them with false ones. However, this ability can be used once every year, but as your eyes grow stronger you can shorten this to once a day or two. With Izanagi you can cast an illusion over reality, allowing you to decide what is and isn't while it's active, neglecting any injuries, even fatal ones, even after death. Although it has its limitations, it is mostly used as defense or avoiding lethal wounds. But I recommend not using the last one since it can cause tremendous strain to your eyes, leaving them unusable for a few days. The Rinne Sharingan also gives you the abilities of the Rinnegan. Information on the Rinnegan is scarce due to the rarity of users, but due to Two-sama being the original wielder, I know of its abilities. The Rinnegan has the abilities of the Byakugan minus the 359-degree vision. It gives you the ability to use all 5 elements. You can see chakra and its flow. It can also see the tenketsu of the 8 gates. You can also create black receivers that can transmit chakra. Then there are the 6 paths. The Diva path can control gravity and either pull things towards you to push things from you. The Asura path allows you to mechanize your body. With the human path you can extract souls and read their memories. You can use certain Rinnegan summons with the animal path. These differ from regular summons. You can absorb chakra and pure chakra techniques through the Petra path, although you cannot absorb Senjutsu chakra. With the Nakara path you have access to the King of Hell. Then there is the outer path, which is you. The Rinnegan allows you to preside over life and death, granting you the ability to revive the dead, but beware, it costs a lot of chakra. You can summon the demonic statue of the outer path, which is the body of the Kyuubi. I'm made of its chakra and the statue is the hollow husk of the Kyuubi. Although I recommend not using this as it does not require chakra but your life force. Usually it will kill you, but due to your Uzumaki lineage, it'll leave you in a terrible crippled state. There are certain abilities limited to the Rinne Sharingan, like Limbo. Limbo allows you to reside inside an invisible world that is usually impossible to detect. While in this world you can still make physical contact with the physical world, allowing you to harm your enemies. While in this world, you can make up to 4 clones that reside in the Limbo world, all of which have the same abilities as you. Finished the redhead. Wow, that doesn't sound fair to the rest of the world. She chuckled a little bit at his response. Yeah, I know, it's a lot to take in, but don't worry Naruto-kun, I will train you how to use these abilities, said the red-haired beauty, reassuring him. Will you really? Will you teach me how to be strong? I hate being weak. Yes, don't worry. After I'm done with you there won't be a single soul who will beat you, she said smugly. Yada! He exclaimed and jumped in happiness. Thank you Kyuubi-sama, I promise I won't disappoint you. She slightly smiled, this child is destined to do great things. Please, none of that Kyuubi-sama stuff. Call me by the name Two-sama gave me. Call me Kurumi, but it's time you should be waking up Naruto-kun. I'll be giving you tips on how to use your abilities while in your mindscape. Since you've already made initial contact with me, I'll be able to talk to you while you're not in your mindscape, so when you respond talk in your head, I'll be able to hear. Now wake up Naruto-kun, I sense people near you. Okay, I'll see you later Kurumi-chan. As Naruto's consciousness started returning to him and he regained my senses, he began to hear talking. Sounded like Old Man Hokage and 3 other voices, 2 male 1 female. No Danzo, I'm not letting the boy become one of your mindless puppets, said the only voice he recognized, which was the voice of the 3rd Hokage. Then what do you suggest we do with the boy Hiruzen, said the other male voice. When he becomes of age I will enroll him in the academy. Why will you let the demon brat join the academy? Don't tell me you really plan on letting the brat become a shinobi, said the female voice. Let me remind you Kaharu, he is not a demon, he simply holds the demon, replied Hiruzen. Naruto started shuffling. You're dismissed, he's waking up. When he heard footsteps, then the door opened then closed. He took this as a cue to start shuffling some more and his eyes fluttered open. Ow, even opening his eyes hurt. Gigi, is it true you're going to enroll me in the academy? Asked the blonde boy. Yes, once you reach age 10 I'll enroll you in the academy. I smiled slightly. I will be making my ascent to become a shinobi. Gigi, can I leave this place and have that new ramen flavor? The old man chuckled. Yes boy, but not right now, you need to rest. I estimate you'll be out in 2 months, but you should be able to eat in about a week. Time skipped to 8 days later. These past 8 days he's been spending his time in his mindscape. While his body rested, he changed the appearance of his mindscape to make it more hospitable for Kurumi-chan. It changed from a sewer to a plain with a few trees, here and there. Basically just looked like a regular outdoor plain. Although his injuries, realistically it was supposed to take more than 2 months for his body to heal, but thanks to Kurumi-chan his body healed at a ridiculous pace. Third-degree burns, fractured ribs, and broken arm and leg are not injuries that healed in 8 days. The nurses and doctors were shocked to say the least, but it just added to their rage. The demon can regenerate at a rapid pace. He was free to go, so he headed to his apartment to let Kurumi-chan begin the process. After consulting Kurumi-chan with it and talking about it during these past 8 days, he decided against telling the Hokage about the whole Kyuubi situation and the Rinne Sharingan he was going to get. Not that he didn't trust him, but still. As he made